Step into the Kathy Rogers podcast studio for the familiar comfort of your best friend's mom. Explore what shapes us, strengthens us, and connects each of us to God's distinct purpose. Get ready for new ways of seeing how resilience bears fruit.
Hi, I'm Kathy Rogers, and welcome to the Kathy Rogers podcast. When I began thinking of an introduction, usually someone gives you criteria. You know your audience, or you just know the parameters of what you want to cover. But when I had the opportunity to decide from the wide open spaces what you should know about me, wow, then I really got in my own head. With every title that I came up with, I started having fear, doubt, so afraid of being judged. And then I realized, don't we all do that? Don't we try to be our perfect self? Put it out there in our posts and our pictures because we want to be liked. None of us wants to be unfairly judged. And we really are just looking for a place to be our own genuine selves, accepted for who we are. So, with a little help from my friends who know me the best, they help me describe the real me, the actual, here I am, and I hope that we'll come to connect over time because I realize that for the roots of a relationship to really grow deep, there needs to be authenticity and vulnerability and truth in love. So I'm hoping that's how we're getting started today. So as I go, here it is. Whose I am is more important than who I am. And with that is the biggest part of my identity. And that is, I am a child of God. I'm a Christian. I'm a believer in the fact that I was created with purpose and that God loves me. I also believe that about you too. I believe God created each one of us with a specific purpose, and He truly loves us. He loves us so much that He provided a way for us, even when we're selfish and sinful, to have a relationship with Him through His Son, Jesus Christ, who provides a way for us to be connected, enjoy an abundant life here on earth, and then to spend eternity with Him in heaven. I want us together to learn how to trust Him more and to spend that time with each other, learning how to live that abundant life. Well, so then I started thinking about most of what people think about me these days. You know, what are the most current things? I've been through what some would consider hard circumstances, but since I know so many other people have been through worse, it's hard for me to take on that hardship title. It just doesn't quite fit. Then I started thinking about, well, it's my history that defines the window, the lens, the perspective from which I see life. First of all, I grew up in a small town. Everybody knows everyone and their family. I felt here I should probably say everyone knows everybody's kinfolk because that would prove I was from the South, but that's probably a bit much. My parents divorced when I was young. My mother raised my sister and me. She worked very hard, multiple jobs, but she taught us a work ethic and that every job is valuable and every worker is to be respected. And that's a very valuable thing I learned from her. After college and grad school, I moved to the big city, Dallas. 37 years ago, I married the man that only God could have put in my life. He was the only one I met that was strong enough to stand up to my, well, I like to call it boldness, but when I look back on it, it was really boldness covering insecurity. But he didn't care. He loved me anyway, and only God could have guided us through these 37 years to the point where we enjoy each other more today than we did when we first met. A very wise mom told me when I had first had children that the most important relationship in your life is your marriage. your spouse. And boy, was she right. She told me that your kids are going to be gone before you know it. And you'll turn around and you won't know that person that you married. But if you take the time nurturing that all through your kids growing up, here's the hard part. The kids demand a lot of attention. So you have to be intentional. But boy, am I glad she gave me that advice, because I know that that's why we still like each other. And in these empty nest years, we enjoy each other's company. I really like him, and he likes me too. Sometimes I'm a bit much, but he's known that for 37 years. Well, during those years, I worked as a CPA for several years, and then I began working in the business with Brian. We had 3 children in 4 years. I also experienced a miscarriage in that. Motherhood. Wow. The time where the days pass so slowly and the years fly by. That is not an understatement. So overwhelming. And secret about me, well, not really if you know me personally. The kid toddler thing, not my jam. A little too demanding for me. Hungry again? Need a diaper change again? I that was difficult. I mean, I did it, but not fun for me. But I did love getting to know each child. Now, seriously, how does God do that? Take the same DNA and make these completely different human beings. See, I think that feeds the point about we're each created uniquely with a purpose for God to love us. Well, we learned with 3 different strong personalities in our life to nurture each one, know each one as an individual, support them in their interest and what they wanted to do. We set up a rule that our home was a haven. This is the place where you can be you. You're not going to be judged for it. You won't be mocked for it. And we had each other's back. I think that's important today, especially as the world just gets meaner and meaner. And I think that that was a valuable tool. I enjoy today the opportunity of getting to know my grandchildren on this level, because once again, amazed by the uniqueness of each individual. After our oldest graduated from high school, she worked at Nothing But Cakes while she went to college. And this job changed the whole trajectory of my career. 9 years ago, I became a franchisee, and I am so grateful to the business owner who gave me the opportunity to partner with him, who taught me how to operate the franchise, the people side of it. And I also appreciate the confidence that he had in me. Now, the hat of a business owner is one that's really hard to explain if you haven't experienced it, either as a child of a business owner or as a business owner yourself, because from the outside, it can look like it can be fun and flexible, which it is. It can be lucrative sometimes, which it can be. But it also comes down to the fact that the business owners, we're the bottom. We're the end. We're the ones where the responsibility lies. And I will tell you, I've enjoyed that most of the time, but during times like the year 2020, that was not easy. And I really doubted some of my decision making at that point. It's been worth it, but it's not always easy. I'm hoping to give you a full body of what that means. Our kids are all now grown, married. We have 5 grandkids. And then in the past 8 years, 2017, that is when the big hard turn came in life. In July of 2017, my mom was diagnosed with metastatic ovarian cancer. Then 6 months later, I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer. Now, I think it was stage 3. To be honest, I don't remember the full name of my cancer all the time, and I don't remember what stage. I just remember the words that the doctor said, and that was aggressive, invasive, treat immediately, which we did, which was really hard for me because it's a really difficult time to make all the big decisions that need to happen quickly. The shock doesn't wear off before you're really making major life-changing decisions. Another time that I truly trusted my faith that God would guide me, and if I was making the wrong one in my treatment, He could redeem that. He could make it better. And the good news is I'm healthy, my cancer's gone, and I think I'm probably healthier than I was pre-cancer. Well, that seems like that's obvious. Through the time with these cancer diagnoses, we learned that we have the BRCA2 gene. Well, we've learned that numerous people within our family have the same gene. And about 18 months ago, our middle daughter was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer and left this earthly life in February of 2024. She was only 29 years old. I know that's a hard thing for people to hear, but through this, God has allowed me to share my faith, to grow in my faith, to test His faithfulness and see that it's true and share it with others. And if that's one thing that He can use to redeem, call others to Him and to help others know that He loves them, and you can enjoy a stronger faith and joy even in the hard earthly circumstances, then that gives me a little hope for what can come. Now, through all of these experiences, I've been a little bit more intentional with things. There reaches a point where the trivial things of life are just not worth worrying about. My faith is one place I've grown. I've kind of already discussed that, but God's allowed me to see things about Him as I study about Him that really resonate. When you've been in a life and death situation or you've lost a loved one, there's a perspective that changes. I don't wish that on anyone, but there is something that you gain from the opportunity to see God in a different light. My health, what I eat, how I work out, those are really important to me. I try to do the right thing, but I'm still going to enjoy cake every once in a while. My plan is to stay strong and grow gracefully through life. Part of that is laughing at myself. My time is another place that I'm intentional. I try to make sure that I'm not just piddling away, whether it's worry, anxiety. It's just not really proven to be worth it. It's not going in the right direction. So I try to have purpose, time for spontaneity. Don't get angry with the unplanned interruption, which may have been my tendency in the past. My relationships, I treasure the time with my family, my friends. I like being there to support them. My mentors, I choose wisely who I allow to have a say, whose opinions matter to me in life. There are really a lot of people who want to give you advice, but they don't necessarily care about how that advice may affect you. My words, I try to be grateful, sharing gratitude, making it beneficial, what I'm sharing with someone, or even how I'm laughing at something. Sometimes I should just be quiet. Sometimes I need to just listen. And I think I'm doing this better. However, caveat here, I don't think my family would agree because I do have a tendency to bluntly interrupt other people while speaking with a fleeting thought or maybe a weak attempt at humor. I like to have fun. Life is too short to be so inside your head, worried about what other people think, that you don't enjoy yourself. I enjoy playing sports. Just started trying pickleball. I like working out, lifting weights, walking, watching sports, especially ice hockey. Now, this is one of those weird, quirky things I'll share with you about me. I can get so wrapped up into watching a game that I have to mute the commentators and sometimes just turn the TV off and walk away. I know that's weird, but that's the only way when I'm emotionally wrapped up in a competition that means nothing to me tomorrow. I have to keep those competitive and exciting games in perspective. They're just entertainment. They don't have anything to do with tomorrow. or 6 months from now. I like hanging out with my family. I enjoy our times together. We eat, play games. We also have food competitions to figure out what is the best in a certain category. We've been through French fries, pizza, ice cream, and this is getting even better as we add the grandkids in with their opinions because, some of them can't eat anything without ketchup. I enjoy having a house full of laughter and loud conversations. The life and richness that brings is invaluable to me. And some people don't have this capability, but I don't mind a messy house when everybody's around. Now, I do like the fact that there's a place for everything once they're gone, and Brian and I can pretty much whiz through the house and clean it up in a hurry. But while they're here, enjoy yourself. You're at Mimi's house. I like movies. I like books, mysteries, rom-coms, overcomer dramas. I'm usually learning the next ones to listen to, watch, read from my daughter, who is an avid book reader. Music. Music can change my day. I remembered that one today when I was scared to death about recording this. I don't know why I was so afraid. I mean, you can just turn it off if you don't like it. You can stop listening. But putting it out there, oh, it's so scary. But I started listening to music. I like the 60s, more the 70s and 80s, because those just help me reminisce about all those times when you're growing up and those memories and those friends from high school and college. But worship truly touches my heart, and it can change my perspective of the day by reminding me who's in control and that God loves me. I may even try to have a song with each episode because I'm sure in all of the songs I've listened to, there's something that's going to reinforce what we're talking about today. So there it is, a little bit about me. Hopefully you'll learn a little bit more each time with each thing that we discuss. But it got me to thinking, who are you? If someone gave you a wide open palette of blank lines to say, who are you? Who are you connected to? What activities identify you? Are you comfortable in your own skin? Or do you find yourself more of a chameleon, just trying to blend in and be accepted, depending on who you're with? None of us likes to be judged, and we especially don't want to be unfairly judged. Here's the secret. I've been in the rooms with some very great and amazing people, powerful people, people with influence, successful according to the world's standards. Yet, so many of them do not realize how amazing they are. They can't see the purpose that God's placed in their lives. They don't remember that He loves them. And so I think there are a lot of hurting people. We can be hurting from things that have been done to us, circumstances beyond our control, or in that secret, I don't want anyone to know place. Things we've done to ourselves, choices we've made, consequences that we've triggered. The shame and the guilt can keep you from remembering how much God loves you and the purpose He has for your life. So I believe through our time together, we can find healing. We can go down the path together. We can learn more about what faith can mean in our lives. I truly do want to be the voice of your best friend's mom, walking along with you as you learn how to navigate adulthood, the different phases of life, whether it's career, mother, or just a woman trying to figure out what her purpose is in this life. I know that you're loved. I love you. I see God in you. I see the purpose He has for your life. So I'm thinking that as we go on this journey together, I'm looking forward to seeing the caterpillar through the chrysalis into the beautiful butterfly that you can be. And if you're in the middle of the cocoon chrysalis these days and things are so dark, there's no way you think you would ever be a butterfly, I want you to borrow my belief. I want you to hang on for just a little bit longer, because there is one of my favorite verses in the Bible that says that God can do more than we can ask or imagine. So I want us to prove that in our lives. God loves you. I love you. And I believe in you. I pray that God will give you insight into who you truly are. Just a glimpse, just that moment of seeing how much you're worth. No matter where you are in life's journey, you're just one more second away from knowing who you are, what your purpose is. Now, that song that I talked about, Just As You Are by Ryan Stevenson, has some great lyrics to an upbeat song that reminds us that God loves us just as we are. We don't have to get perfect and clean it up to show up for Him. We can come as we are, and He'll help us with the cleaning up part. Next time, I will share how I learned to exercise my faith over the last 8 years. I look forward to sharing with you, and God bless you.
Please email your questions and comments to info@thecathyrogers.com. If you found value in this podcast, please like, share, and subscribe to receive each episode when it posts. We appreciate you.